Strap yourselves in, boys. This is going to be a good one. So before we get into how you're going to get your professions to 330, some you can get to 340 quite comfortably. Obviously, make sure you like, subscribe. Come check me out over on Twitch, Scottejaye87, links in the description below. So a quick one, I have been streaming on YouTube, but that is going to stop probably in the next 7 to 10 days because I'm going partnered on Twitch, which means I can't stream on YouTube anymore. I will be uploading highlights, but that will be on SJ Gaming Live. So if you still want to see some of the highlights of the streams, then obviously come check me out over there. So briefly, we're going to look at all of the professions, go through them really quick. This is not going to be a very long video because there's not really much explanation needed or anything like that. But we're going to look at basically how you can get a bit of a head start on your professions and probably save yourself some gold. Because you've got to remember, early on, the materials for crafting are going to probably be a lot more expensive when you get to the Outland stuff than they are now. So if you can get sort of to, you know, a good 30, 40 points into your profession straight away, literally, as soon as you get to like Thralmar or on a hold, you know, train your skill up and then just quickly use all the mats that you got in your bag before you even run out questing. I know that might seem counterproductive. You just want to, like, you know, get cracking, start making your way to 70, which is fine. If you want to just get to 70, obviously leave all the mats in your bank and then do it when you're doing 70. But some of this stuff you might actually use on the way to 70, which is why I've been very specific about the patterns, recipes, whatever, formulas that you are going to make, because I didn't want it to really just be, you know, sinking mats for no reason. You know, at least try, and if you're going to prepare these mats now, you know, try and make something that you're going to get some use out of, preferably something that's going to help you on the way to 70. And I'm going to go into why I've chose these specific items as we get through the professions. So let's start with alchemy first. Now, the one thing you don't want, obviously, is downtime. You know, when you're actually on your way to 70, if you use mana, then you don't want downtime. You know, you can drink, fine, but if you can just use a mana potion on cooldown because you've got tons of them anyway, you might as well. Because obviously by the time you get to 70, you're probably not going to be using major mana potions, which I'm talking about, because you'll be using super mana potions, maybe even fell mana potions. But basically, if you complete Scholomance, or you've already done it, so you can get the trinket, so you can see the mobs around Caer Darrow, or whatever it's called, outside Scholomance, you can buy the major mana potion recipe, basically, and that will take you all the way to 330. So you can make tons of mana potions as soon as you've trained your alchemy skill up when you're in Outland. And it's only 3 Dreamfoil and 2 Ice Cap. If you're not a mana user, then another option would be Elixir of the Mongoose. So obviously, if you use agility anyway, you know, agility and crit you can make use of, then you can just pop these back to back, keep it up 100%, all the way to 70 basically. So this would be you ferals, rogues, hunters, whatever, you know, anyone who can make use of this, you might as well be popping them on your way to 70. Now this actually goes green at 315, so you know you can't make this all the way to 330. Even as a rogue or a feral druid, for example, I would still recommend, once you hit 315 with this, I would still then make mana potions to 330 personally. But if you're not using them, just sell them. They will sell. So just, yeah, sell them on the auction house, get yourself to 330. Now for the Elixir of the Mongoose, you need 2 Mountain Silver Sarge and 2 Plague Bloom, which herbs are generally quite expensive, I'm not going to lie, but I just think these are going to be the 2 most useful recipes, you know, besides flasks, which you're not going to be making flasks unless you are absolutely loaded. And if you haven't got the recipe, just so you know, you can get it from Jadefire Run, just drops off the demons. I mean, you can go to the auction house and buy it for pennies anyway, so, you know, get hold of the recipe, get some mats stocked up ready so you can, yeah, get your alchemy to 330 ASAP. Blacksmithing's a bit rubbish, I'm not going to lie. It's not really the greatest one to be getting, you know, quick and easy points, or I would even say cheap points. But I would recommend, if you're blacksmithing, you might be using swords or something, so the elemental sharpening stones are, you know, you can make use of those on your way to 70. It's a pattern that comes from Molten Core, so obviously if you haven't got it already, try and get yourself in some Pug Molten Cores or something like that, just to try and get hold of it. But all it is 2 elemental earths and 3 dense stone. So the mats are not too bad, and the elemental earths you can just go around farming when you're bored for an hour, or just buy them off the auction house, whatever. Then to get to 330, with blacksmithing, there's so many recipes, there's so many things you can make, but I would probably recommend Radiant Leggings would be the way I go. So this it goes green at 330, so you can comfortably get all the way to 330 with it. And the mats are cheap, they're reasonable. You know, all it is thorium bars and 4 Hearts of Fire. You pick the recipe up on the auction house as well, relatively cheap, so you haven't even got to worry about farming it. But yeah, I think, you know, a stack, it's not quite a stack of bars obviously per craft, but a stack of bars, 4 Hearts of Fire per point, it's not too bad really. This would be what I would use to then get to 330. I really wish I had a chef's hat for this bit, but cooking, this is really, really easy. And again, it's one of those where there's a lot of ways you can go. There's a lot of recipes that you can craft, but I just feel that Run Tum Tuber Surprise, such a stupid name. It can take you all the way up to 335 before it goes green. You can buy these dirt cheap off the auction house. They're only from Diamall anyway. If you haven't got the recipe, obviously you need to go do Diamall to actually get the recipe, but it's the easiest way to go. You only need one Run Tum Tuber to actually be able to make it, and obviously just the vendor stuff as well, but literally, it's so cheap. So just stack up on some of these, get you cooking straight to 335. Easy, 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 easy. Enchanting's quite a good one. These are, well, one of them's good because it's actually useful, and you'd be able to sell it still. Even at level 70, people would be buying this. So you got Brilliant Wizard Oil. So Brilliant Wizard Oil will keep selling, people will still be using it, even in Karazhan people are going to be using it. It goes green at 320, which is a bit annoying, because it would have been nice if you could just craft this all the way to 330. So you're going to need to run some Zul'Gurub if you haven't got this already, because it's honoured with their reputation to be able to buy it. But it's only, when I say only, I mean it's 2 large Brilliant Shards and 3 Fire Bloom, so it's not overly expensive. You can start stacking up on these now. As I say, you'll be able to make it up to 320 before it goes green, and then you're at a point where you do now need to make something which unfortunately you're not going to be able to make any profit on. But the upside to it is you can get to 340 with this before it goes green, and all it is illusion dust. So enchant Bracer Superior Stamina. It's a fairly common recipe. You can get it off the auction house. It's only 15 illusion dust each craft, but this will stay yellow all the way until 340. So that's actually pretty decent, I think. And you haven't got to take this for gospel. You can go and look up the recipes yourself, because I'm not saying there might be something you think's more useful, but these are the ones what I personally would be crafting to get myself to 330, 340. And as I say, enchanting, making those brilliant wizard oils, at least they're actually gonna be useful. You're gonna be able to use them while you're leveling, especially if you're a mage, a warlock, or whatever, something that it's actually useful for. And if it's not useful for you for whatever reason, then just sell them and someone will buy them. And as I say, people will still be buying these at 70, I promise you. Spoiler alert, we've already looked at engineering in a previous video, so this information is not going to be new. So there's only one recipe I would recommend you make as engineering, and that's the repair bot. Now, if you're dungeon farming all the way to 70 for the reps, or all the way to 68 for the reps, I mean, this is actually going to be useful, isn't it? You'll be able to drop them, so you haven't got to worry about going and vendoring stuff. You could potentially do 5 runs, bang, drop a repair bot down for everyone to sell and repair. I mean, that's pretty decent, and your group will appreciate that, without a doubt, never having to go to a vendor. Especially if you've got a mage in the group for food and water. So now you don't need to go and buy water from anywhere, or food from anywhere. You don't need to go and repair anywhere. I mean, it's pretty decent. And a side note, the recipe does change. So I'll put that on screen so you can see. So all you're actually going to need now is thorium bars and fused wiring. But if you've not got fused wiring, obviously don't panic. You'll be able to craft fused wiring, and it's really quite cheap, especially if you get the Essence of Fires now, because they will probably go up in price during TBC. So just buy them all out, but buy all of them out on the auction house, because you'll probably even make a profit on those in TBC, to be fair. So for 3 delicate copper wires, which you craft, and 2 Essence of Fires, you can make fused wiring. So all you're going to need is copper bars, Essence of Fires, and thorium bars, and you'll be able to make loads and loads of repair bots all the way up to 330 before it goes green. You can keep crafting it past that, obviously, but less likely of getting a point, so you might as well stop when it goes green. Level working, it's rubbish, because there's not really... I mean, if there is anything you think I've missed in the comments, obviously let me know, because I'm sure there might be a recipe that I've not thought of, but I can't really think of anything that's actually going to be useful. The only way I could say it's going to be useful is if you craft it and then get it DE'd. Maybe a level working enchanting, because I think that's going to be quite a popular combo. So you can craft all these and get them, then DE them yourself, potentially. That's about the best the best scenario I can see coming out of this. But wicked leather belts. You can make these all the way to 330 before they go green. It's what I would do. As I say, with leather working, there is tons of options, and I mean tons of options. But these, I would probably say, are going to be the cheapest and then you'll just DE them anyway. So even though you've got lots of options, this would be my go-to option. Again, if you think there's anything better that you can craft, obviously let me know in the comments. Last but not least, and I say not least because there's going to be a hell of a lot of tailorers. Tailorers? Is that even a word? So again, much like leatherworking, not really anything of great use you're going to be able to make, but there are plenty of recipes that you can choose from. The one I would do personally is the Wizard Weave Robe. Now, you can farm this recipe in Eastern Plaguelands from the Dark Casters. Shouldn't take you too long. Or obviously you can buy it off the auction house. Unfortunately, at the time of recording, there wasn't one on the auction house on my server. But you might already have it. If you've already got it, then happy days. Monday, Tuesday, no. So this goes green at 3:30. So, you know, most of these recipes that I'm talking about go green at 3:30. There's only the odd ones, like the Enchanting one, that goes green at 3:40. But at 3:30, this goes green. All it takes is 8 bolts of rune cloth and 2 dream dust. So it's not that bad. Mats wise, you can start farming all of this now, just having it all on you. Obviously, that's the whole purpose of this video. And as I say, there's going to be a lot of tailors. Neverweave cloth from Outland is going to be in high demand. So the further you can get through your tailoring without physically using any Neverweave cloth, I think is an absolute winner. And that's it, boys. Again, a massive thank you for getting us to that big 10k. I mean, we've surpassed it. We've smashed it, in fact. But let's keep it growing. Keep the content coming. Keep the subscribers coming in. Obviously, make sure you like the video. Come check me out over on Twitch. And I really hope you found some of this useful. Until next time, peace out.